maybe the best citizenship in the world, and they all have it. Because of this card, they get free land, free education, free weddings, free hospitals, and even a free funeral. It's the citizenship of a country in the Middle East called the United Arab Emirates. This is what life is like for citizens from the Emirate of Dubai. And because the city is so generous, they get the craziest benefits I have ever seen. Are you ready for this? When you are born, your parents pay nothing. Your delivery and checkups for the next 9 months are all free. Then you grow up and you go to school. Local school in Dubai is free! And so are universities, because Dubai will pay for you to get a degree.
I studied at Zayed University and New York University, both for free.
Who's gonna pay for that?
The government.
Then you get married. If you can't afford the wedding, you get $20,000 to throw a wedding. And after marriage, every local Dubai family gets this: free land. Did you get free land?
Yes.
Did you get free land?
Yes.
Did you get free land?
Sure, yes.
And if you cannot afford the home, then you get a grant to build it for free.
I also can't afford building a house. I can get a 0-interest loan on housing.
Zero?
0.
If you need to go to the hospitals are free. And if you need surgery that's not available here, they will fly you to another country to get treatment for free. When you become a senior citizen, you get discounts, many discounts. And if you live alone and can't afford it, Dubai will even send a caretaker to look after you for free. And when you die, well, in Dubai, that's also free. Your funeral will be taken care of, and Dubai will build a full tent with air conditioning within 5 hours of your death next to your home, so your friends can come and say goodbye to you. The point of government is to take care of people, and in Dubai, they take it to the extreme. Imagine if every city, every state, every government in the world did this. We would have a much happier world.
Good evening again, everybody. Just trying to get through this technology here. Just give me 1 second, and then we'll get this done. Trying to figure out. All right, I had a little visitor sneak past everybody and get into the room and went to town on the computer, and of course that everything went berserk after that. And you ever had a kid touch something on your computer or on your device, and you're trying to figure out what did they do? What did they press? How does this stuff everything? And so it took me a while to get back up, but that was very interesting. All right. So I just want to continue where we left off. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for getting back on here. And so we got to share this again. Um, we have to share this again. Let me do that. I haven't had a chance to share. So let me do that quickly because I want to get to this. Man, I just seen all these texts with "Are you okay? Are you okay?" No, no, no. I had a little visitor, a little intruder. The kid came in and started going to town on the. I tried to stop them discreetly, but it didn't work. So um had to shout for their parent to come and get them. All right, so that's what that was. Um, let me see. All right, so you know what to do when you get in here. Please share, share, share. Um, let's get this back out there because people aren't gonna get the notification. Let's get this back out there. We were having such a awesome conversation. I was on the software. Um, Everything disappeared, and I'm using a new version of the software that I've never used before. So it was very difficult for me to get back on there. All right, so thank you all so much for your patience. I'm just sharing this quickly so we could get started. um I don't know. Yeah, just give me one sec. Let me share this. Let's get this out there. I'm going to repeat a couple of things that I've been saying because I can't even find this on social media right now. Just give me one sec. Let me share it as much as I can. Just give me one sec. Okay, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for those who are tuned back in. Thank you for those who tuned back in. Do your ad follow and your ad like, whatever you have to do to get this back up. But I shared it as much as um say baby girl. No, yeah. So yeah. So um uh thank you all for that. Everything just went berserk just now. And we have to I'm gonna touch on stuff, but if you still have what we did before, then so be it. Um, yeah, so you say put some fever grab in his or her bottle or sippy cup. Yes. Yeah, so very, very interesting. Um, I mean, they could touch one button and that could do everything. All right, but all right, so we're back up, and it was hilarious. All right, so it was hilarious. But ladies and gentlemen, we were talking about the situation where people were calling me about Ricardo, Thurston, et cetera, et cetera. Um, we'll try to retrieve that because this software should record the videos and send it back out again. But I just wanted to make it clear that no one who's an activist is my enemy. No one who's an activist is my enemy. I'm not going to be debating with anyone who agrees with me. That doesn't make sense to me. But I'm going to be fighting for those that we can. As I said to you before, I get the calls from people every day of people who are hurting and suffering in this country. And to be honest with you, that's what keeps me going. That's what keeps me ticking. And and for people to be distracted with who is smarter, who is better, who is first, and this kind of stuff, nobody. I have experienced calls from people who are suffering in this country, and that's what's important to me. I'm not just here to be a Bahamian. I'm here to fight for Bahamians, and that's what I do. And that's what I'm going to continue to do. And I fight for Bahamians like the Ricardo Thurstons. And I said to you also that Ricardo Thurston is a barber. He cuts hair on Robinson Road. He had moved to the United States of America. And he came back to the Bahamas and he became a barber. And but he's a regular Bahamian who he's a regular Bahamian. He was a high school degree, like two of our prime ministers. Um, he's a regular Bahamian who decided to take a stand. And I applaud that. And I want to tell all of them that I believe in their mission. And so for there to be any war or disagreement with me, there will be none. You can attack me as much, you can throw as much weapons as you want if you feel the need to do so, but you won't get any from me. I'm going to be focusing on making sure that those single mothers and fathers who are out there and suffering in this country, that they can get access to their carbon credits and that they can get access to their natural resources. That is my mission. And anyone who is on that mission, you have no fight or any argument or disagreement from me. You will have someone who will continue to fight for you. So I fight for Ricardo Thurston. I fight for Steve McKinney. I fight for blackmail and all of these people. And I will always say, as I've always done, I believe in the mission that these men are on. And I ended by saying before I had that little interruption, I want everyone who's an activist to understand that if someone has a disagreement with you, that doesn't mean that they're attacking you. If someone has a different opinion from you, that's not an attack. It's a difference of opinion, okay? And we have to understand that. If we are all going to the mall, but you say we should go in the truck, I say we should go in the car, that's not an attack. That is literally just people with different opinions. All of us know that it's important for us to get to the mall or to get to the food store or wherever we're going. Where are we going? The New Bahamas. What's happening in the New Bahamas? Bahamians will benefit from this country. Bahamians will benefit from their natural resource. So the first video, I hope it's still available for people to see, but we went on a trip down memory lane. We went on a trip down memory lane where you could see all of the protests and et cetera that we participated in over the years. And you could see who our real enemy is. All right. And so with that said, our real enemy is not each other. And we need to focus and understand that. Our enemy is the PLP and FNM, who have ruled this country for about 70 years with an iron fist. We have suffered under them. They've lied to us. They lied and said that we have no natural resources. Then they lied and said that Ragnarok is only worth 2.5 million with an M. They lied to us. They lied, and then they fought us from getting what is ours. And now they're trying to replace us with another people. This is why we fight. Because they've lied to us. Our enemy is the PLP and FNM. And I just want to make this clear. I showed a video in the previous live of the Free National Movement fighting down our Raganite bill that we tabled in the House of Assembly. We tabled a couple bills in the House of Assembly. We had sent it up to be tabled. And one of them was the Raganite bill so that Bahamians could benefit from their natural resources. Another one was for immigration. But I watched the FNM fight that down with all their might. Why? They don't want you to benefit. Who was in FNM at the time? Who was in cabinet at the time? Who was fighting this down? Michael C. Pintard. So some people may say that Pintard wasn't the leader. No. Cabinet is collective responsibility. The leader has one vote. Everyone who was in there did it together. And if you didn't speak out for the ills that we experience in this country, you were part of it. As I said in what I put forward, as I said, it's the same old FNM. The same old FNM. It is the same old FNM. Nothing has changed. Nothing is different. Nothing. So my enemy is not anyone who is fighting for Bahamians in this country. My enemy is those people who have been raping and robbing us. Let me make this clear again to all of you. I just said this in the first video, but I'm going to put it in this one so you understand. Some people say don't make it political, that they want to avoid things seemingly political. I want to make it clear that that's what we've always done. Our protests, and that's why I played them. Only one protest, a recent one, I wore any kind of color paraphernalia. I was wearing a pullover with the logo on it. In every other protest, we told people were wearing Bahamian colors. We told people that we're coming out as Bahamians and we want you to wear Bahamian colors. Do not come out in any COI paraphernalia, PLP or FNM. Let's come united. That is what we always did. When we advertise it, we did not advertise it as a COI thing. It's a Bahamian thing. A member of parliament can be a part of a party, but they could have a church. That church has nothing to do with politics. And that church is not PLP because they're there or FNM because they're there. That's a church. And so we can fight for a cause. I can fight for a cause, even though I'm a member of the COI. And I can fight for a cause as a Bahamian. And that's what we've been fighting for. But I want people to know that nothing is going to happen unless we take the pen from those people who are raping and robbing this nation. Nothing is going to happen unless we take the pen to sign our bills, to give us our sovereign wealth fund, to enshrine it in the Constitution. There are persons who are saying, okay, we're going to do an act and we're going to go on a march and we're going to give it to the politicians and make them sign it. They can give you the act and take it right back. Can't they? They can give you the act and then take it right back. They can give you the act, drag their foot until election, and then after they win, just take it right back, like how Brave did with the Sovereign Wealth Fund. Just giving them an act is not going to do anything. We have to take the government and enshrine it in the Constitution. Now, stay with me now. So I want to get that out of the way. Our enemy is these same FNMs. We remember what they did, and Pintard was a part of it. He was a part of the problem. Pintard was a part of the problem. Pintard did not speak out against anything Minnis did. He aided and abetted. He helped him. He did not speak out. And so he aided and abetted. All right? Because I'm lost time on that first one, I want to move on. Pintard assisted Minnis with locking this country down. And that's where we're going to get to the next part of this. Because of what happened earlier, I can't access the videos I wanted to play for you. So I'm going to attempt to put the video on this TV here. All right. Now, this country was locked down. I prepared a video for you so that you can see that the government is overseas at the UN right now at WHO, negotiating an agreement, a treaty that's going to allow our country to be shut down and our civil rights taken away once WHO decides that there's a pandemic. Not that we decide, that they decide. And our rights could be taken away, just like Minnis did. But now it's foreigners who are going to determine that. But I want you to watch something. I'm going to pull this up. Let me just go to the history. I want you to watch what Minnis and Pintard and those allowed. And I'm going to play this for you because Fauci was grilled by the United States government, by the Congress. He was grilled. And Fox News highlighted a part of that. And I want you to see this. Fox News highlighted a part of that. I want you to see what Pintard, Minnis, and them allowed. And not just them, Philip Brave Davis. Because he did not stand up and fight. He did not speak out against what was going on. Philip Brave Davis said, do whatever Minnis says. First he said, oh, we don't agree with the Vox or whatever. And then he went away, had some meeting with some foreign people, and he came back and he was taking that job. Remember, him and Wayne Monroe said they wasn't going to take it. And when he got his instructions, he came back and took it. And he was saying, just do whatever Minnis says. Remember? Guess what? The COI was out there fighting for you. But minute you locked down, we went out there and fought. Before I go there, for persons who said that one of the problems they see was that we were good when we were Bahamian evolution, just an activist movement because we could attract, all kind of people. And then we lost it when we became Coalition of Independence and we lost support. I don't agree with you. If you look at the videos that I showed you previously, and you look at the numbers when we were Bahamian Evolution, our numbers exceeded by probably even 10 times the amount when we became Coalition of Independence. Our Coalition of Independence marches and protests were far bigger than the Bahamian Evolution marches and protests. And we had a big Bahamian Evolution one in R. Bailey Park. That's because that was a holiday. But we brought massive amounts of people to Rawson Square on a work day. And so I don't want people with their theories to think that, because y'all now want to run an election, that's a bad thing. There's no other way. If you want to just go and keep demanding or begging the politicians do what's right, there's going to be no results. But I just wanted to put that piece of fact in there for you. Bahamians can understand whether it's a political party or a church or another civic organization that is fighting for what is right. And so the PLP was fighting for civil rights for Bahamians. They didn't say don't make that political. They were fighting for rights for women. They didn't say don't make that political. You can be an organization, whatever kind of organization it is, and you can stand up for what is right. That is what I believe. I'm sorry I can't elaborate too much because of time. Let me go back to history or something, and let me see if I could pull that up somewhere else for you. Yeah, let's go. Maybe this will take me there. Yeah, I want you to see. Let's go to more. Let's go to more. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Okay, here it is. Here it is. So what you're about to see here, let me rewind this. This is important. Okay, let's go here. Good, we're there. So this is Fauci. He was interviewed today. Now I want you to see why you need a strong government moving forward. Because whatever happened during that whole situation, we should have had a mind of our own and we should have had the ability to think. This is what happened today. Let me move over a little bit for you. This is what happened today.
Purposely misspelling words so emails couldn't be subpoenaed.
Hold on, I gotta go back a little bit. I'm sorry. I gotta go back more. Okay, here we go. There we go.
And frankly, it's been a long time coming. America now knows Fauci funded gain-of-function research at the Wuhan lab. We trained Bat Lady. The sloppy lab leaked, and Fauci covered it up and shut the country down. Gain-of-function is a risky method used to help pharmaceutical companies come up with vaccines ahead of time. And we now know Fauci gets royalties from vaccines. We also now know, thanks to a whistleblower, Fauci's intelligence handlers were using the Wuhan lab as a window into Chinese bioweapons research. Fauci, under oath, denied it all.
Did the National Institute of Health fund the potentially dangerous enhanced potential pandemic pathogens gain-of-function research at the Wuhan Institute of Virology?
I would not characterize it as dangerous gain-of-function research.
Do you agree that there was a push to downplay the lab leak theory?
Not on my part.
Really?
Really?
Wow. I think most of the country would find that amazing. I said 11 seconds.
But look at the facts. I've kept an open mind throughout the entire process.
Not even the New York Times is buying Fauci's lies. Here's a headline just from this morning. Why the pandemic probably started in a lab. Now, if you said that 4 years ago, the Times would have called you a kook. We also now know Fauci's right-hand man, Dr. David Morenz, has been hiding the truth from congressional oversight, purposely misspelling words so emails couldn't be subpoenaed. Morenz even confessed that he and Fauci used personal email accounts to get around records requests. Fauci told Congress that's not true, and that Morenz guy, barely know him.
Let me state for the record that to the best of my knowledge, I have never conducted official business using my personal email. Dr. Morenz was not an advisor to me on institute policy or other substantive issues.
Remember how we also had to stand 6 feet apart for 2 years?
This is the part I really want you to hear. Remember all that social distancing and all that stuff that they preach? Well, it turns out he decided that off the top of his head. Remember, first it was 3 foot, then it was 6 foot, then it was 3 foot, then it was 12 foot, then it was 6 foot. Then it was wear the mask, and they said, but those only the N95 masks will work. And he said, okay, just wear 2 double masks. And he was walking around with double masks. But it turns out he was benefiting. And we just fell for it because we just do whatever they tell us to do. So they're talking now about the 6 foot social distancing thing. Watch this.
Fauci admitted he made it up, and there wasn't any science behind it. But he didn't want to say anything because he didn't think it would be appropriate.
Once we realized that the virus was not spread by droplets and was aerosolized, did you feel an indication to go back to the CDC and said, let's base this on science. Let's get rid of this 6 foot rule. This 6 foot rule crippled businesses. It allowed students to stay at home and not learn. Americans suffered.
I've challenged the CDC multiple times
Publicly on this regard?
It is not appropriate to be publicly challenging a sister organization.
Yeah. Fauci's junk science ruined millions of lives in order to force people to get vaccinated.
You believed an institutional should make it hard for people to live their lives so they feel pressured to get vaccinated. Could we run the audio clip on that, please?
Do you think can be done about it? I have to say that I don't see a big solution other than some sort of mandatory vaccination.
You want to come to this college, buddy? You're going to get vaccinated.
Yeah.
Big corporations like Amazon and Facebook and all of them are going to say, you want to work for us, you get vaccinated. And it's been proven that when you make it difficult for people in their lives, they lose their ideological and they get vaccinated.
Fauci had a financial interest in force feeding the vaccine. His scientists made almost $1 billion in royalties from pharmaceutical companies during the pandemic. And Fauci lied about how effective the vaccine was. Deadly gain-of-function research, and they want to put Trump in prison for an NDA, which...
Ladies and gentlemen, the Coalition of Independence and Bahamian Evolution fought what Minnis was allowing to happen. Minnis, Pintard, and crew was allowing to happen. Donald Trump did fight it. We fought it. We stood up against it. When Minnis did lockdown immediately, we stood up. We fought. We've been fighting for the Bahamian people, and we will continue to fight for the Bahamian people. That's what they did to us. And we just, this is what they say. No one stood up. We saw Minnis apparently getting a fake job. You can clearly see the nurse put it in the carton. The job that they were giving to us at the time, it was AstraZeneca, is now pulled from the market because it is giving people clots. we sounded foolish and stupid for standing up against it. But you hear what he said? Just pressure the people and they'll take it. Tell them you can't go to college unless you get it, and they'll get it. But guess what? He had an interest, according to them. He was getting benefits from it. It was $1 billion industry. And so when I stood up and told people I'm not getting it because it doesn't make sense, because you're telling me that I'm going to get it, and if I get it, I could still get the disease, and I can still pass it on to someone, then what am I getting? That doesn't make sense. And so I made it clear to all of you in my lives that I will not be participating in it. It doesn't make sense. And now we see that there's a lot more deaths. And I told you at the time, I said, you are going to see a lot more people dropping down. You're going to see people just dying from mysterious ailments, et cetera, et cetera. And they won't admit that it's related to that. But guess what? All of a sudden, you can see a lot of strange dead young people just dropping dead. And we had no one to stand up for us. No one. Well, we need real leaders who are not going to sell out because someone came in a jet and said, "Hey, take this money and you'll be okay." All right. We need change. And so that's where we are. So, ladies and gentlemen, we came to fight. We came to stand up and fight. We are willing to work with Bahamians who are willing to fight. If you are ready to fight, then come join us. All right? Is this political? We're using the political platform to get this done. Politics is a mean to end, but none of us are really interested in politics. This is a means to an end. So again, to all those people who are out there and, they're saying that they feel they should just forget about the electoral process, my brothers and sisters, the election process is our reality. And we have to go and take it. I've had a conversation with a gentleman recently, and he was saying, "Oh, no, we just need to have a revolution, just a revolution." Okay, then after the revolution, then what? You still have to go to the election process, right? I don't think you thought that straight through. So who is going to be in charge after your revolution? Meaning a coup. Who's going to be in charge? You're just going to put someone there? That's still politics. Someone has to govern. And so I think we should give it one more chance before we talk about doing coups and revolutions, et cetera, et cetera. Let's try to educate our people. Let's try to see if they'll be willing, if we wake them up, if they'll be willing to do what is right. I think that Bahamians are waking up. They're realizing that we're worth more than they've been telling us. I think they're waking up. They're waking up. Give them a chance. And so that people who are saying, don't participate in the election, that's what they want. They want the people who are discouraged to not vote. You see, if you're the government and someone decides not to vote for you anymore, you're the government, someone decides not to vote for you anymore, normally they'll vote for the other side because they're disenfranchised with you. If they like you, they'll still vote for you. So what you want to do is you want to discourage those disenfranchised people to tell them, don't vote, so that you may lose that vote, but it don't go to the other side. So you still one up. Do you understand? Because you started with the majority because with the most votes because you're the government. So what you want to do is discourage voters and then try to get new voters or bring in a new voting bloc who are not discouraged with you. It's the strategy. You understand? And so they want our people to say, oh, no matter who you put in there, it's going to be the same thing. Because they don't lose by that. Do you understand? We have to convince our people to vote and vote differently if they want change. They're going to say, oh, the COI come and they can do the same thing. And that's because the FNM and PLP have been working together to discourage you. to distract you. To make you feel that no matter who you put there, you still getting screwed. So y'all go back and forth and get discouraged and discouraged until they replace you with another voting block. You wake? Now, I want to touch on a couple of things. You know I always open the phone lines. Let me get these phone lines open. Make sure we're good. Okay, that's good. I'm touching a couple of things. There's a new law for impounding cars. I want to make it clear to you that this new law for impounding cars is not a new law. It's a tax. It's a way to rape more money from you. I talked about this on my last live, so I won't elaborate on it too much. They realize that if they impound your car, you're still going to have to end up paying your insurance or your license, and they get an extra $300 from you. This could raise another probably $100 million for them. All right. And so that's the reality. Next, the insurance with 6 months. The government is proposing to make you have insurance is valid for another 6 months in order to license your car. And they're saying this is a big solution. And some people are praising them for it. I heard one person say, yeah, because someone could hit your car and you have to go pay out of pocket to fix your car, et cetera, et cetera. Let me help you understand something first. This does not solve the problem. One, the problem still exists. Why? Because if someone hits your car, their insurance cannot help you unless they say they must help you. That person can hit your car and tell the insurance, I ain't fixing it. And the insurance can't do nothing because the deal is with them and the insurance, not them and you. So did you know that if someone hits your car and they decide to tell the insurance, no, I'm not covering it, then you have to sue the person directly. You still can't get the insurance. So them being insured is not automatic. This does not mean automatically that you're going to be covered if they hit you. That's the first thing. Many people don't know that. And I wanted to educate you on that. All right. So the first thing the government needs to do is put a law in place to force insurers to pay off for the damage that the person is insured for. If they could force us to have insurance, they could force the insurance to pay. This is important. All right? This is extremely important. Right now, we don't have that. And a lot of people never thought of that. But there are some people who have experienced that. All right? So we have to wake up because it doesn't make sense. So a law needs to be put in place. And we don't hear the PLP or them talking about this because they're funded by these big insurance companies. All right? And so they don't want you to force them to pay. But if that person don't want to pay, we win. All right? And if he pay, we're going to increase. So you see the problem here? It still exists. So we need to put a law in place, and we're going to put a law in place where the insurance company pays automatically. All right? Next. Let's say the person has insurance that's valid for 6 months, and then they get their car licensed with that insurance. 6 months later, they're driving around with no insurance. So the problem still exists. This is not a solution. 6 months later, 6 months and 1 day, or 6 months and 2 or 3 days, they are now driving with no insurance. Think about this. It doesn't make sense. So they still can drive for half of the year without insurance. Do you understand? The problem still exists. They didn't stop anything. They reduced it a little bit, but they haven't stopped it. Let me tell you what we're going to do. We're going to have a system, a comprehensive system. I call it a one-card system, where when an insurance company issues you insurance, they do it on a platform, on a system where the government can see that you have insurance, and they can see the valid dates, who should drive your car. The police is able to see when they scan your plates or they enter your plates in their computer. They are going to be able to see that driving behind you, they could say that person's car is not licensed, one, and that person's car is not insured. And so problem solved. They can do that. They can make the insurance company enter the information in one system. It's doable very easily. They are bringing this law into play on January 1st. By January 1st, this system could already be designed and ready to go. I'm a computer scientist. Think about that. And so we're going to put a system where everything is in one, and who should have access to what they need has access to it. But everything is in one system. All right? So when you're driving on the road, the police can see license plate number AF123 is not licensed, pull them over. Oh, it's not insured, pull them over. Does it make sense? And so this is what we have to do. These people are not thinking like the 21st century. They're also going to see if if your car is inspected properly and what the issues were where they found an inspection. So in the UK, when I went to university, I bought a car and I got it licensed. I just over the phone, you could get it licensed, or you could just go on the computer and license your car. They'll send the papers straight to you. You put it in your dashboard. But also to get it inspected, you go to a licensed MOT mechanic. So just with any mechanic with a license can do it. And they will mess with that because if they do any fraud, they're going to jail. They get lost them in jail. All right. And so you go to a licensed mechanic and they actually take your car. They don't just say, turn your wipers on, turn them off, blow your horn, turn your light on, turn your light off. That's nonsensical, because as soon as you drive off, that light could blow. The lights could blow at any time. The horn could go at any time. All right. And so that's a trivial exercise, although you should do it. What they do is they put your car up on the rack, they test it, and when they finish your MOT, they give you a printout to say that, oh, you have some salt damage, you're starting to get some rust, your belts are about to go, your brakes is about this % gone, and so they give you a proper inspection of your car. All right. And so certain things won't fail you. They won't fail you because your belts are going to go, because that's a part of normal wear and tear of a car. They won't fail you because your brakes are 75% gone. But they will inform you of that. So guess what? When an accident happens now, and you're in a car accident, they can say, hold on, let's check these brakes, because this person was just told that their brakes was 98% worn out and they should have changed it. And then they could actually use it for certain purposes, help investigate accidents and other things. All right. This takes us to another level. This is the new Bahamas. This is a new kind of thinking. All right. Someone says emissions test. Yes, emissions tests and everything else that persons would need. All right. So all this frivolous stuff that they're doing that doesn't really solve the problem, it's nonsense. All right. It's nonsense. So I just want to say those things. Had an interesting night tonight. But I'm going to open the phone lines for a second so you can talk about whatever you want to talk about. 803-5995, 803-5995. WhatsApp or regular call. WhatsApp or regular call. 803-5995. WhatsApp or regular call. Let me put the number up there for you. What do you think about the situation with our Bahamas government is now signing with WHO to take away our rights? They are there right now. What do you think about the things we talked about tonight? The line is open. Good evening, you're live.
Good night, my president. How are you?
I am awesome. How are you doing?
I'm great. Okay, what I wanted to say in reference to that so-called amendment they want to do, I use a scenario on the chat today. People still bring in imported cars. So just for instance, if my vehicle, I bring a vehicle in the month of April 2024, my birth month is in December. When I go to license that, they're only going to license my vehicle till December 2024. Mm-hmm. But the insurance company is going to license my vehicle from April 24 to April 25. Now, when December comes and I have to go ahead and license it, I still have 4 months paid insurance. Mm-hmm. Why should I go ahead and lose that 4 months? That doesn't make any sense. We're not like in the United States where we pay insurance monthly. Well, if they want to change the system, they have to put it in whereas, okay, you have to pay your insurance and your license both in the same month, which is going to be impossible to try and do because it can be expensive for the average Bahamian.
Yeah, what the insurance company should do is give you a rebate, or something to make sure that they credit you for the 4 months, and then they charge you for the next 6 months that you need, or next 2 months, or whatever it is you're getting. That's what should happen if they're going to do this new law. But most likely, you're going to get swing for a while first before people start complaining, and it gets changed. Remember, Brave is backed by some persons in the insurance industry, so I'm sure they're not going to not think of that intentionally or negligently. Remember, Brave travels around with one of the owners of Kalina. So and that's the industry, all right. But this is the way it is. They just are trying to find every way that they could rape and rob and suck more money out of the people. If you pay more insurance, they're charging you VAT on insurance, so that's more money they're getting. They don't care.
Exactly. I'm like, Bahamians, when are y'all gonna wake up? How much taxes they have implemented since they come in January? They just went up on the driver's license. It's now $75 for 3 years, up to 5 years. Something else. It's like every year they're just going up, and people cannot see that we haven't gotten a break since they've been in power. Absolutely nothing. You know, my Bahamian people, please wake up.
All right, thanks for your call, man. All right. I had a couple of videos to show you guys, but I don't know how to get those videos up and running at this point. I'll just skip over that for right now. All right, I'll just skip over that for right now. But ladies and gentlemen, I think we need real. I'm sorry about that. I think we need real solutions. We're not getting real solutions. Let's go. Hello, you live.
Good night. How you doing, Lincoln?
I'm awesome.
That's great. Just want to talk to the Bahamian people. I'm not gonna say my name, but I do conch shell jewelry, right? And the government asked me to help the Bahamian people, but they refused to help me. Personally, they refused to help me.
Fauci had a financial interest in.
Right. So basically, the Taiwanese, I talked about this on the show before, the Taiwanese came into the Bahamas and they had the conch shell art craft school for the Bahamian people. The government ran them out because the Chinese told them to get out. I had no idea why they would do that. I just get to find out that the Chinese are using our conch shell for all kind of stuff. And a Chinese told me this. A Chinese friend told me this. And he said, y'all so stupid because y'all allowing certain people, my people, to come into your country because we don't have that. We only have clam shells and different things, but y'all have the best minerals in the conch shell. The company being deported to China, not for just conch shell jewelry. That's just a plus for them. And they try to sell it back to us, which wasn't made in the Bahamas. But the powder is what they are after. They grind down the conch shell powder. If you just Google, literally just Google conch shell powder and see how many different vitamins, like, hello?
Yeah.
How many benefits the Bahamian conch shell carry, we would cry. And then we would start saying, why aren't Bahamian benefiting from the conch shell? Because nobody's making any noise about it. So it's just garbage. A Chinese stand on the side of us picking up conch shell because the woman said they are paying her to put it in the bin by their shipyard. I'm like, man, that's messed up. And that's how I started to follow up on it. And that's how I got this information. And all I did was Google it, and I couldn't believe it. And I'm tired of being quiet about it. The government is really not checking for us. Every day I call to try and get a spot somewhere as a Bahamian. And Senator Randy Rowe told me nothing that he can do for me and not help me. And I am one of the few only that does the conch shell bowl with the spoons. They know me by name. You understand? But Ministry of Tourism, they can call me when a senator or somebody come in from the United States and they're on the coat of arms made out of conch shell or the conch shell bowl with the spoon. You want me to help, but you don't even want to help your own people. And look what you're doing. If the Chinese get control of Andres or any other place that has all these conch shells, see, they're doing it secretly now. Because if they take it out in one rush, then everybody's eyes can open up. Because ain't nobody Googling it yet. So y'all have a good night and y'all think about that. It ain't just the aragonite, it's the conch shell.
Yeah.
Good. God bless.
Yeah. Well, the conchs use the aragonite reportedly to make their conch shell because it's calcium carbonate. All right. And it's a pure form of it. It's amazing that an animal with no brain can make a conch shell from sand or aragonite, but we can't as humans. We're not smart enough to do it. That's very, very interesting. 803-5995. 803-5995. Okay, we've done an hour on this. I don't know how much we did on the last video. Before we had a very entertaining commercial break, long commercial break. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to end this like how I began. I want to say that no weapon formed against those people willing and ready to fight for this country will prosper. I want to say that everyone who was in this fight needs to pray for the spirit of unity. You don't have to work with everyone because that's how they send imposters to infiltrate you. But I'm calling on all Bahamians to realize the seriousness of where this country is. I see tears almost on a daily basis. I'm in meetings constantly with people who are being abused on their jobs. Bahamians suffering in this country, man. So with that said, don't try to get me in any fight with any patriotic Bahamian or any Bahamian who might have a little difference of opinion from me. Because guess what? Even you could have one opinion today and you could have another opinion a month from now or a year from now. Opinions change, opinions differ. But the cause is most important. We have a country without adequate ambulances, without adequate fire trucks, without adequate health care, and now you know that no hospital is being built on this term for y'all. They ain't worrying with y'all. I'm sorry about all that theatrics in the back of me with all these different stuff playing. We're in a country where nothing works. Complete failed state. Complete failed state. I'm not taking any more calls. I'm trying to end this now. That was Big Papi calling, but I'm not taking any more calls. We're in a failed state. We don't have proper electricity, proper water. I got a video today of persons. I wanted to play this video, these videos for you that I got today, but after technical difficulty, I couldn't. I can't load my videos. I don't know what's happening. I got a video today. I don't understand why Bahamians have to go through this. I'm going to show you something. I got to play it from here. I can't get the volume up, but this is the Flamingo Gardens Clinic. And women are out there, pregnant women, to see the doctor. I'm sorry, I'm not letting you see the whole screen. Pregnant women are out there. Out there in the rain, outside. That's pregnant women coming to see the doctor out there, outside, in the rain. Come on, man. And we had a convention center full up with people in red shirts celebrating for politicians who did nothing for you. I mean, that's your, they mothers. That's your sisters and your mothers, etc., in the rain. And someone say, oh, but they're building a maternity clinic. No, they're calling it a hospital. One, and it's not going to happen in this term. Us in the rain today. To get health care, they getting wet up. They sitting in puddles. Sitting in puddles. Man, y'all gonna keep voting for this? Their excuse is gonna be, don't vote for Lincoln. He ain't perfect. He ain't perfect like Brave. He ain't perfect like Pintard. Don't vote for COI because Maria isn't perfect like Brave or Pintard. Don't vote for COI. They rowdy. They was protesting. No, we was fighting for our lives as Bahamians. That's what we was doing. We were fighting for our lives. We were fighting for our one country. And they could come up with more and more scandals. You know, I guarantee you, this week, next week, they have all kind of scandals. They could be all over WhatsApp with this to say with me, that to say with me, this to say with Maria, this to say about Miss Green or Miss MacGyver. But at the end of the day, they have nothing to say about not doing what we're paying them to do. I've noticed all of the WhatsApp groups, and they're getting boring because all Fred Mitchell told his trolls, like Papi was trying to call, all he told them was just go there and just throw mud, just start saying a bunch of foolishness. So sensible people won't be a part of that, so they won't listen because they were losing the battles in there as people were talking about what's going on in the country. They were losing. So what's the truth about Thurston? He's a Bahamian that I'm fighting for. I have nothing negative to say about him. Steve McKinney, Blackmail, all these guys, these are patriotic Bahamians who are fighting where others cower. They're fighting. They're in the arena. If you are not in the arena, don't judge those who are. If you are not in the arena, don't judge those who are. I'm in the arena. I'm a gladiator. And I'm fighting for this one country we got. I am unapologetically Bahamian. And I will continue to stand up and fight for this. So when y'all come again with who is this and who is that and who should be this and who should be that, don't mix me up in that. All I know is that the FNM has failed us. Pintard will fail us even more because he's going to be a puppet for Brent Simonet and a puppet for Fred Smith. And if you're listen to this warning, if you're let Pintard become prime minister of this country with all these fluffy talks, fluffy empty talks, kiss this country goodbye. He was talking about privatization. Him. Privatization. They gonna privatize everything and give it to Brent. I wanted to play those videos for you today, but I'm not able to. I'm sorry. Maybe on Sunday I'll touch on it. If you watch his convention speeches, watch that again. He talk about taxes. I wonder if I could play that one for you. I wonder if I could play just that one for you before we go. Just that one. Because I want you to see that income tax is coming. Remember I told you all that weeks ago. I told you all if the FNM or PLP gets in, income tax coming. And Pintard started the talks for the PLFNM. He started it. That income tax is coming. Let me see if I could pull this up. Let me see what I can do here. Let me see if I can find it. Just give me one sec. Give me one sec. I had it ready to go, but okay, some should be around here somewhere. Let me see.
Ideas they had in opposition. They are in the chair and they are scrambling.
Let me see if this is it.
And so tonight, I wish to leave with the public several of the things we intend to do.
All right. That was
And
painful.
so when we come to government, we intend to make adjustments. They put in place an investment fund law.
Lord, I'm trying to see if I could find it quickly.
We had a recent ceremony at the 66 steps, and
All right, hold on.
because sometimes we are running young men off the corner.
Hold on.
We believe that for the Jonkulu community, there should be that we believe the government has failed. The government has failed to put in place a fairer, more equitable tax system.
This is it.
If you're in
I
this
want
room
you to
and you're
listen to
making
this
$300,
very carefully.
you are paying as much as
Let me
we
see if
believe
it'll
that for
start
the
over.
Jonkulu that we believe the government has failed.
Listen.
The government has failed to put in place a fairer, more equitable tax system. If you're in this room and you're making $300, you are paying as much as the person in this room or at home who's making $160,000. You're paying the same thing on a tube of Desitin or wipes or feminine products. It cannot be right that at this stage in our development as a country, we have not found a more equitable way to protect those who are most vulnerable and to get a little bit more from those who can and are willing to pay a little bit more. We believe.
Do you hear income tax? Do you hear it? So he's saying the tax we have now, the poor man and the rich man paying the same amount if they buy, let me just say my own example. I didn't talk about that and all that. If a poor man buy a tube of toothpaste, a rich man buy a tube of toothpaste, they pay the same amount of tax. He's saying we need a tax where the rich could pay more than the poor. Only one tax does that, income tax. But let me tell you the problem with that. The problem with that is the rich don't pay because they put loopholes so that the rich don't have to pay. The rich find ways to not pay. And the only one that end up paying is the same one that paying now, the poor and the middle class. So they can make it sound good, like, oh, we got to tax the rich. We got to make the rich pay their fair share. Oh. But the rich ain't gonna pay. Rich companies in the States don't pay. Rich people don't pay. They put loopholes in there so they don't have to pay. So when they drafting this bill, when Brent them drafting this bill for them, they can put all the loopholes in there that only them know, because they put the loopholes there so that they don't have to really pay that. You see? And we don't have freedom of information. So you'll never know nothing. Y'all don't get swing from Pintard and them, eh? We ain't going back there. But if Braves them win, they're also going to do it. And this is why we're hearing that they're going to call elections sooner than later, because they're being forced to do income tax. And they know that if they go to income tax before election, it's going to be out of control. And there's a risk that the COI may win because people are angry. Some of this Pintard is speaking like a puppet. But anyway, there's more taxation and sufferation to come under the PLP or FNM. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want different, you got to vote different. Eh? Well, I just want to touch on those things tonight. All of those people who were calling me about all of these stuff. We need to have a conversation about the Queen and Crown Land and that kind of stuff, because there are people who still feel the Queen is in control of this country. And I was having a conversation with a young man to let him know that the Queen is not in control of this country. We control this country. They are just a titular head. A titular head means it's just a formality. It's not real. The only reason that persons are ruling over us is because we have corrupt leaders and because you in your mind feel that they're still ruling over us. We have the freedom. We have freedom. You just have to know it. We have freedom. You just have to know that we have freedom. Someone says, but everyone swears to the Queen or the King. Swearing to the Queen is a formality. It doesn't mean nothing. In Barbados, after the election, they swore to the Queen, and then they went Republican, removed the Queen. It's a formality. It doesn't mean that, yeah, with the PLP and FNM, they're going to swear to the Queen, they're going to worship the Queen. But with another party, with the COI, it's going to be different. One, I am not swearing to the Queen. Y'all could screen record this. I am not swearing to the Queen. So then they're going to say, oh, but you can't become an MP if you don't swear to the Queen. Yes, I can. There's something called an affirmation. You can just affirm. And then after affirming, you can unaffirm. Queen, King, we're done with you. All right? Just like every other country that went republic did. Do you understand? So all these people with all this scary talk and all this boogeyman talk that you can't do this, you can't do that. No. We have to take this country. We're going republic, so we're getting rid of the Queen, and we are going to own our own destiny. They say, oh, you can't have the natural resources because the Queen will do it. I had a conversation with one man a few days ago where he actually was saying that a percentage of our taxes go to England. That is not true. Not a dollar from our taxes go to England. Not a dollar from our natural resources go to England. I showed you documentation on this in a live a couple of years ago, where I showed you when they signed the first Raganite agreement, lease. The governor had to sign that on behalf of the Queen. When Ingram signed it in 2012, the latest one, it was the same deal. The latest one, the Prime Minister signed that as the minister responsible for Crown Land, etc. That's because the Queen is not responsible for that anymore, has no ownership of that. And that's in Section 54 of the Conveyancing Act. All right? They don't own us anymore, and they don't own our things anymore. Let's wake up. And even if they did, isn't that something to fight for? Are we going to just sit down and say, oh, you can't have nothing because the Queen owner? Don't mind linking them talking about natural resources. The Queen owner that. You can't get nothing from that. And if that were true, you would just sit down and allow it to continue, or you think that's something to fight for? But it is not true. Our natural resources belong to us. And we're going to give them to their rightful owners. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it. Sorry about the break and intermission there. We had a little comedy section just now. So I know we got to have a good laugh about that. But let's continue to fight. Let's continue to remember that only one country we got. And if we don't fight for this, it's gone. That is what this mission is about. So anyone who wants me to be fighting with anyone else or any other third party, et cetera, that's not going to happen. I'm not interested. I'm focused on this mission. I'm focused on this one mission of ours. I'm focused. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate you. I love you. See you soon.